Welcome to the Misfit One Lifestyles with Elizabeth Colin. She will awaken and connect with your Misfit One. Are you tired of the ups and downs in your life? Are you ready to live a healthy lifestyle once and for all? We are talking about all aspects of your life. Being fit is not just physical, it's also your mind and soul. Learn how to take steps in your life to move towards your goals. Elizabeth's goal is for everyone listening to the sound of her voice to get fit. Let's get focused, let's get intentional, and let's transform. Now here's your host, Elizabeth Colin.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Misfit One's Lifestyles with your host, Elizabeth Colin, also known as Misfit One. And today's guest, Hunty, she's gonna get your pockets right. We're going to stop all the trauma of money and all that. My guest today is Miss Jaqee Cooke. How you doing?
Elizabeth, thank you for that warm welcome. I'm just so excited. And the fact that we have an opportunity to try to get our pockets right. That's all we ever really think about.
Honey,
and yeah,
it's important. It really is. Because, especially for our culture, and I got so many things to talk to you about because you are the heart and soul of money.
Yeah.
Talk to the people about what you do.
Well, and it really comes down to the name. When you look at money, there's this new subject area called financial therapy that really just deals with the emotions. And then we have this whole financial sector that just deals with the money. I'm actually putting the two together. And I'm doing this because money is so charged, coming from a culture where we were once currency.
Oh!
And we were currency. How many of us did you have? So coming from that culture, we're carrying some things. We're carrying a lot of beliefs. We're carrying a lot of undeservedness. So what I'm seeking to do with the heart and soul of money is help us adjust our head. If we start with our head and connect it with our heart, more money.
Our pockets gonna be fat. Our pockets
are gonna be fat. And get this, Elizabeth,
Talk to me.
Our hearts will be full. And that is priceless.
I was just about to say, Jaqee, where have you been my whole life? Because listen, I'm the baby of a very large family. And my dad is, I'm a cradle Catholic, right? So my dad believes that God is going to provide for all your needs. And he does. So I think, no, don't get mad at me, but I had to go to therapy seriously about money because my dad would always tell me rich people were bad, right? We thought that they were evil and mean, and because they had money, you know, so I had this whole thing about I want to be successful, but am I worshiping the devil, basically, you know? And I'm exaggerating, but the fact is that, you know, I think my father, I love him to death, but I think he showed us the closest that you could be to poverty was the closest you could be to God.
Right. And you know, Elizabeth, that is not unusual.
Okay.
Think about where we learn from money from. Our parents. And where did our parents learn money from? Their parents. Think about what was happening to our grandparents when they had children. So my grandparents, when they had my mother, they were living in an oil field. They lost a child that could have been saved, but they couldn't take the child to the hospital. They had to leave Texas and go north to a better job, two jobs and opportunity. So all of that formed their money story. We call those money scripts. And these incidents are micro traumas, if you will, that in the mind of a child, they don't understand everything that's going on. So that becomes a financial flashpoint. And they hold on to that story, which is only partially true. And they live on that partial truth. So your dad said, the closer you are to God, God will take care of it. There's some truth to that. But is that the whole story?
No, absolutely. Jaqee, I'm telling you, I really had to do therapy about it. And it was okay to be successful. It did not mean that you were bad. It's okay. And when I tell you, still to this day, if I talk to my dad, I'm like, oh, Dad, we did that. Oh, that's what rich people do. What y'all rich people doing now? What the
story? Right? It's a story.
It's a story. And I used to be embarrassed about it. I used to say, no, Daddy. Now I go, oh, you know what we did? We did this. Right.
And you deserve it. And you deserve it.
But that is something that is so hard and something that we have to change our script. Like you said, it's a script. Mm-hmm. So how does one come to you, first of all, right, and say, hey, I need help. I need help with this. What does it look like?
That it looks like, I know I should be doing something. I know I should be saving for retirement. I know I need to stop buying those shoes, but I can't seem to stop. It's, if you feel any stress about money, and this is stress, knowing that you make enough money to pay your bills and to live. There's studies that show once your basic needs are met, and that's somewhere between $50,000 and $75,000, depending on where you live. Once those basic needs are met, more money does not make you happy. The studies show the things that make you happy, you can complete the list. Your friends, family, your pet, a walk in the park, things that aren't associated with money. So people show up to me if they're feeling some stress around money and it's disproportionate to their income. They find that, okay, I keep telling myself I need to make more money. They make more money, and that feeling that they have doesn't go away. It's illogical. So that's, your body tells you a lot. Your head tells you some stories. Your head, your ego has something to say.
Right.
My advice is listen to what your body is saying. And
okay. I love the fact that we all have the mind-body connection, right? That mind tells us stories. My mind telling us a story, and our body is feeling it. Because what happens is our emotions get involved, and like you said, it's irrational. Mm-hmm. And I love that because it's very true on so many things. It's all about our mind shift. So when we say, okay, so this is irrational, I'm reaching out to Jaqee, girl, I need you. First of all, how do we contact you?
Well, I have a website. And it's a www. Heart Soul Money.
Woo!
I'm also on Facebook, and it's Jaqee Cooke with an E and Jaqee with no U. So there's only one of me. I'm also on LinkedIn as Jaqee Cooke.
Okay. You're on Instagram or anything?
I am on Instagram. I haven't really posted much there.
Okay.
But the handle there is I am smart with money.
I am smart with money. I love that. And let's get to the name Heart Soul Money. How did you come up with that name?
Well, I took a course called Heart Math. So Heart Math. Oh
I
my
took that
gosh.
course too.
So
Yes.
I thought about heart math and the heart intelligence,
Yes.
because one of the things that happens in our head, you may say, I'm going to start a business. And your head is saying, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're doing. Where are you? Stay in your lane. And I realized that's your head's way of keeping you safe.
Right.
So I wanted to tap into the heart and that somatic transformation, to listen to what your body is saying. So that's heart. Soul speaks to how we want to move in this world, how we want to feel, that richness, that good stuff. And money is what we've been taught to believe was the answer. And typically the answer is get more, you'll be better, which we know isn't true. So that's how I came up with the money.
Yeah, that is
Money,
just
the name.
the name.
And
Yeah.
also realizing that money has informed my life in many ways.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, I grew up in West Texas, where because of who I am, there were some limitations, maybe some true, maybe some not.
From Beaumont, Texas, girl. I understand.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, now you know what we're talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Do you see what I'm saying? That trauma, that script?
Yeah, it's there. But what happened to me was when it was time for me to go to college, my college fund had to go to the IRS. And I'm 16, 17. I don't really understand this.
Right.
All I knew is I don't get to go to the school I want to go to. And I felt some kind of way about it.
Right.
I'm grateful that I could go to school. I'm grateful that my parents had a fund. I'm grateful that college was still an option to me. But instead of majoring in art, which is something I love, art, design,
Right.
I majored in finance. I didn't like numbers. Part of my story is you aren't good with numbers, but I knew that I didn't want my fear to define what was happening in my life.
Oh, I love that.
So that is a trauma response. I did not fight it. I didn't run away from it. I embraced it, which was probably a very healthy response.
Very.
I didn't work in finance, but as I've worked, I've left corporate. This is how I want to help people heal, because I see people that look like me telling themselves the story. I got to keep grinding, got to grind, got to keep working, got to work hard.
I sleep when I'm dead. I'm a hustler.
I sleep when I'm dead. I'm going to take that trip when I retire. Well, that's not living. I think we have to live every day.
Right.
If the pandemic taught us nothing else, it taught us that life isn't promised. So my goal is to help people reconcile that so that they can meet with that financial planner. I'm not a planner. I'm not a financial planner. I just help people emotionally. I teach financial literacy so that when they do show up, they're not showing up in shame and guilt. They're showing up very grounded and ready to make the plan.
Now let's talk about that, because my husband is a financial planner. He's a wealth manager, and he's been doing this for like 32 years now.
Okay.
But the emotions around it, how valid and empowering it is to be stable before you go in there. Because a lot of times when you go to a financial planner, you do enter with shame and guilt. So can you talk to us about some of the things that we can do to kind of shake that?
Yeah. So I would work in concert with a financial professional, because I don't give financial advice. I'm like the opening act. I'm getting them ready and probably shortening the time, because when people feel that they haven't been doing the right things, and it sounds like, I know I haven't really saved for retirement. I know I need to do it. I'm so embarrassed, because when they're feeling like they're going to be judged by the planner, and in some cases they are, where the planner says, why are you buying those expensive shoes? So if I know somebody, my accountant used to say that to me, I'm like, I love my shoes.
Don't
My
you?
shoes, they make me feel good. A better question may be, help me understand what those shoes mean to you. And he probably would have gotten, well, I bought the shoes because I was having a rough day at work and it made me feel good. The answer is, what else could make you feel good?
So because I am so excited about this conversation, because money is emotional. And it's great that you said that. So what is the questions we could ask ourselves? What did you just say?
How was I feeling when I bought it? But it starts before that. And part of the process that I work on is, what is your money story? What do you believe about money? As in your father's case, money is bad.
Money is bad.
So there may be a poverty script going on, where if I have money, I'm not being a good person.
Right.
There's a scarcity. Sometimes there's a scarcity script where I don't have enough. The bank account is irrelevant. They operate and they don't have enough. And that looks like they don't spend any money. They will step over $1 trying to save a nickel. They're only focused on the balance sheet. So I think it's important to look at what's important.
I really appreciate your values and
values. Yeah. Values. Part of my budget's going to be my shoes.
Because you value that.
I value pretty shoes. And if you could see the bottom half, you'd see I had on some nice kicks.
Yes.
The outfit may have come from Target, but the shoes are another story. It's a trade-off.
Right.
And that's the thing. Part of that is when you look, and this is the financial literacy piece. How much do you spend on housing? How much on your needs? How much do you spend on wants? How much do you save? It can be a shell game. So if you have a lot of wants, maybe you can economize on your needs. Instead of living in the big house, maybe you live in a smaller house with some roommates. But that's where the values become important. What is your money story? Not your dad's, not grandma's. What is your reality, and how do you want to live?
Yo, that's deep, because I remember to this day, my kids, they laugh at me, and I'm sure I messed up their story too, because whenever we would make a big purchase, or say we go shopping for school clothes or whatever, and it's like a crazy amount of money to me, I literally get sick. I cannot hand over. I literally would sweat a little bit, get a little nervous. My kids would just take my card and give it to the people for me, because I would be like, "Ooh, I work way hard for this money. Like, I work real hard for this XYZ. Not that I don't have it."
So, Elizabeth, that sounds like there's some story there.
Yes.
There's definitely, and that is one of those things. You asked me earlier, how does this show up? That may be that response. That's a response.
Yes.
And the question's like, yes, you did work really hard for that, but your kids needed clothes for school.
Need clothes, right. And they know it's so funny, because I would be like, okay, so they even know that. They know that mama is not going to just shell out a big cash of money. Like I just like feel nervous about it. Like what's going on? I ask a lot of questions. They all grown now. They grown.
Right.
But I still be asking questions. What's this for? You ain't saving your money? What's going on? Right? Because that is me. I want to make sure. I to this day, if I say, oh, I want to buy something, my thing is purses. That's a need. Like your shoes.
Yep.
I need.
Yep.
I will buy a purse. No big deal. Me and my Louis, we love each other. We have an affair.
Okay.
But then when I buy it, I have no issues, nothing, no hesitate. I don't hesitate at all. But
that's your thing.
That's my thing. But in the back of my head, I said, what if my kids need $2,000 for their car or something? And it never happens like that. But in my mind, I always think about, if I'm doing this for something, what if? I always have a what if. So I definitely have stories.
Yeah, you do. You do. Because you said something. You said, I know I have the money.
I have it.
I have the money. But there's a place in you, and it may have been you, may have been your parent, may have been a grandparent, which is when you start mapping out what was happening in their life, what was their experience, what did they teach you? That rainy day fund.
Rainy day, girl,
But understanding what it is. So that is, we have to know our story and how it shows up, because when you start getting a headache, getting hot, this is where there's an opportunity to, one of the things I teach is the somatic transformation, is to go, oh, okay, my body is reacting to this. My body's telling me there's an issue here. So you can tell your body, you can, whatever thing works for you. If it's heart math, which I personally like, because heart math is calming yourself, but still staying alert to make decisions.
Breathing.
It could be a walk. It's like, let me just step away. Let me just take a walk. But a part of it is being able to tell your brain, it's okay.
You okay? Yes.
I know you're trying to protect me. I know you think that I don't have enough money. I mean, you tell the brain, hey, I do.
I'm okay.
I'm good.
Yes.
And do it lovingly. Do it gently. I know, and recognize it has played a role in protecting you.
Right.
But you're okay now. You're not that little girl.
Right. And it's really amazing how we give that story. So I love the fact that we all, I'm hoping you guys are writing it down, because Jaqee is giving us nuggets right here.
Well, I'm available too. So this is just something that captures them a little bit.
Yes.
They can go to my website, schedule a consultation to see, maybe a one-on-one would be good. I do one-on-one training. I also do group training. So if you're part of a church ministry that does financial literacy, or a school, I love to teach. And I do so in a way that eliminates the shame. Because when adults, you sit down and they go, well, do you know an asset? Yeah, I may know, but when you're putting me on the spot like that, it's going to go out. It's not like that.
Right. And it's needed. I really, really appreciate this, because, and like you said, you are available at your website, Jaqee Cooke, heartsoulmoney.com.
Mm-hmm.
Check her out. Make sure you are asking yourself, like she said, do I need this? And a lot of times it's a yes, you do. What do you value? What is your money story? What is your script? Right there is just so profound for us to take a time to acknowledge it. I have had to go to therapy behind it, because I knew my script.
Yeah.
I knew my script. And my whole family, my sisters and brothers, same thing. We all know the script. And we have learned to deal with it. So, guys, Find out your money script. What's your story? And then give Jaqee a call. Set up your one-on-ones and make sure your heart, soul, and money is in the same place.
And, Elizabeth, what I didn't say, the transformation is just to be able to enjoy this one life that we have. That's really what it's about. To be fully present for the things that matter.
Absolutely.
To be fully there for your children without thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for that? Or, oh my gosh, I better go to work so I can keep making some money. This is just to be here and be now, be in the present, and engage in the way that you want to engage with the things that actually fill you up.
And that's not necessarily money.
No, it's not. I can talk about having my private jet, but I don't think it would make me any happier.
Because I'm private. I'm all by myself. Who I'm talking to.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And you know what? This whole thing is so great because it's about being aware and having to live in the now. So you are on Misfit One. We're talking about the lifestyles and about self-care. How do you, Jaqee, take care of yourself? What does your mornings look like?
I have really kind of interesting morning routine. I have a couple of women, and we spend about 15 minutes in meditation. We do a meditation call. If you heard some noise going on in the background, I have a little puppy that is at my feet right now. I took her bone away and threw it. But this dog brings me so much joy. In fact, I'm going to do an Instagram post about her. But it's just my meditation, my morning walk, and I go to the gym just about every day.
Love it. I love it. I'm happy you said about your pet because my baby is right by my feet as well. He's always by my side, and make me life so much easier. It calms me down in so many ways. And before we wrap it up, I want to ask you, is it anything else you want to tell the people? Just something you want to just leave for us?
Yeah.
Talk to us.
It is. I just want everybody to know that you deserve it. You deserve the peace. You deserve the richness of life. You deserve to not be on that constant grind. You deserve it. So the investment that you make in learning about yourself helps really set the path for having the life that you want. We don't get a do-over on this. So change your mindset around money and you will change your life.
Wow. Drop mic. Done. Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate you. I really enjoyed this. Me. Yes, I really enjoyed this. And I know everybody who is listening will be like, what's my story? What's my money story? Because I want to really enjoy the life that I live and not get so consumed about what I need and don't have, because on that grind is not doing anything but putting you closer to death.
Yeah. And just, you had one thing, but one other thing.
Yes.
And the grind keeps people working, and we keep thinking we have to work because in a capitalistic society, we need workers. You can't keep big companies going if you don't have workers. So part of that is what's in it for you.
What's in it for you, boo? All right, guys, think about that. Until next week, live fit. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Misfit One Lifestyles. Listen, when you are fed up and sick and tired of living this stifled, overwhelmed, and overstressed life, and you're ready to live the fullest, richest, and healthiest life by gaining more confidence, more energy, and more clarity, living in your best self, know what to do, right? Go ahead, go to my website, misfit1.com. Sign up for our online courses, Creating Healthy Habit, so that you too can live fit, focus, move with intention, and transform your life.